Oh, we're back to deporting U.S. citizens again? Let's break this down. Hi, I'm Melba Pearson, also known as the Resident Legal Diva, and this is The Breakdown. If you enjoy the content on this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend. Oh, child, so now we're back with more foolishness. Another American citizen seized up and almost deported. This all went down in Tucson, Arizona earlier this month. So we had a 19-year-old man who was from Albuquerque, New Mexico, not Mexico, New Mexico, you know, the state in the United States. He was from Albuquerque and basically was visiting some folks in Tucson. So his name is Jose Hermosillo, and he was got a little lost and was walking near Border Patrol headquarters when an agent scooped him up and said, "You are in this country illegally, you've crossed illegally, and I'm taking you into custody." Unfortunately, at that time, he didn't have his ID on him. So basically, the agent says, according to paperwork that's been available, the court documents, that Hermoso had admitted that he crossed illegally and that he was basically from Mexico and had, crossed over from Nogales, which is a very common crossing spot. So kind of funny that he would say that because, again, he's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, so Hermosillo lives there with his girlfriend. They have a 9-month-old child together. So they live in Albuquerque and they were visiting family in Tucson. Hermosillo was like, dude, I've never been to Nogales. Like, that's not my spot. So basically, his girlfriend's aunt was making a ton of phone calls trying to find him because everybody's freaking out. He's disappeared and no one's giving them any information. They finally found out that he was being held at the Florence Correctional Center, which is an ICE holding location. So another family member was like, what? Drove 70 miles to the detention center. And once they got there, nobody from ICE felt the need to give them any information. So later on, the family provides officials with a birth certificate, his social security card, and later on, the family basically said, listen, Hermosillo said he was a U.S. citizen. He never said that he was from Mexico. So this is the second time in the last few weeks that this happened. First time was in Florida, around the University of Florida. So again, same type of situation. Person scooped up. The Florida highway trooper was like, the person said that they were undocumented. And then come to find out, the person was able to present a birth certificate and a social security card indicating that they are a U.S. citizen. So what's up with law enforcement lying about people's status to be able to take them in? What's going on here? One of the things I was very concerned about when all of this foolishness started was in terms of racial profiling. So now this is a way of empowering those in law enforcement that holds racist views. And let's be clear, that is not the majority, but there is a core group that are racist as all get out, and that empowers them to be able to pull people over, harass them. And again, the old phrase, you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. So after now you've been incarcerated, you had to suffer, you had the collateral consequences being separated from your family, having impact on your job. You may get fired as a result because you didn't show up to work for how many days. Child custody issues because let's say you're a single parent, you get scooped up. Who's going to take care of your child? Especially if you can't get a phone call out to get a relative or someone to help out. So going back to Mr. Hermosillo and what he went through, he was in custody for 10 days. 10 days, even though he was a U.S. citizen. 10 days, even though there was proof that he was a U.S. citizen. 10 days because of a border agent's lie. That is a wrongful detention if I've ever seen one, and normally would be ground for a lawsuit and a nice chunk of money for him. But of course, that's in normal days. We are not in normal days right now. But I will keep you posted because sadly, I have a funny feeling that this isn't going to be the last U.S. citizen getting scooped up in this manner. And so, again, hate to say it, but y'all, you got to start carrying your IDs with you. You may want to carry your passport with you. As much as it's a pain, passports are expensive. There's also a passport card that does not allow you to travel internationally, but it might be a little easier to carry in your wallet versus carrying your whole passport, and less likely of it getting lost or damaged or anything like that. I believe there's maybe a $50 difference between getting an actual passport book versus the passport card, but you may want to think about investing in one of those just to have on your person in case you end up in one of these stops. Ridiculous that in the year of our Lord 2025 this is what we have to do, but hey, here we are. So govern yourself accordingly. I'm Melba Pearson, also known as the Resident Legal Diva, and this was The Breakdown. Don't forget, if you love the content on this channel, don't keep us a secret. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let everybody know we are the resistance. Take care.
I'm Michael Popak, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popak Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popak Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popak Firm today at 1-877-POPAK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopakfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popak Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.